And welcome back once again, ladies and gentlemen, to the DreamHack Open live from DreamHack Summer here in John Coping. It's going to be a pleasure to be bringing you this next game, which is going to be starting in just a few minutes. We had our North American match a little while ago, and now we're jumping into our European deep dive match. It's going to be the Red Reserve, formerly known as Godsent, going up against Ago Esports.
Sweden versus Poland, going to be played out on DE Train. And we're looking forward to see who's going to take the top of this battle here. Two very similar skilled teams, but very different in their approach. One very loose, very aggressive, very focused on the individual plays. The other one, of course, being Ago, very focused on the team structure. The general just taking these duels together as a team and playing a well-structured, like, book, straight to everything Counter-Strike. Where, yeah, Ago, that's what they want. Red Reserve, can they put a twist in that and see if they can make it happen? Brawlan, one of the players I'm looking out for. On Train, of course, you have to say Twist is one of the players that can make a difference.
We're going to find out about that right now, ladies and gentlemen, as we're diving into it. Let's go. The Red Reserve versus Ago Esports. I believe as well, this might be the first game for the Red Reserve under this new team banner, as they just made the changeover about 2 days ago. So this is a relatively new change for them, moving away from Godsent. Let's get into it, though. Starting off on the pistol round, Ago with a nice opening kill coming out from Groovy, and he finds another one as well. Brawlan and Twist both getting knocked out by him, and he's got his eyes set on a third, maybe in fact the fourth. He's got to go back to the third now. He's just done an excellent job of shutting down this situation. Freddy B looking for a miracle at this point.
Yeah, Freddy B in a world of hurt at this point. There's absolutely no chance for this. The only real chance he has is getting the frag onto Snatch and then rotating around, but Furlan just shuts it down.
Here we go. So a solid start from Ago Esports.
Yeah, and as expected, like this pistol round was a great example of what we can expect from the guys of Red Reserve. Just rushing out of T-Con, just straight going for the aggressive plays. But the system and the positions they have, Grovy's, yes, he's hitting his shots, but all the other players are there. If he goes down, they can take that revenge frag in an instant. So the setup works for Ago. Red Reserve need to find something else, and it seems like we're already... Yeah,
it's probably
that technical pause. Yeah, we saw the use admin for a technical pause. So yeah, this is a technical, not a tactical.
It's always the first day we end up with a couple accidental attack pauses, so I'm sure they'll reset.
That's how it is.
Reset the count on that one, and then make this one an actual technical pause.
We used to have this saying, like back in the old days when we went to LANs, like it's not a real LAN if nothing goes wrong. Like something has to go wrong if it's the network or a PC or something. Like it's not a real LAN if everything just flows.
I guess that's the one big difference between us and real sports, is that real sports is a little bit more straightforward. It's just guys on a field with a ball. Usually.
We have 20 player computers,
complex PCs and network setups,
observers, production that also is connected to the server. There's a lot of stuff that has to all work at the same time in order for this match to go live.
We got the full production suite next door to us as well, so a bunch of machines that I only know the names of half of them.
That's always the one thing that I'm constantly impressed by when I walk into like a production room. Like, there's so many people doing so many different things, and I know maybe 30% of what they're doing. And I would say, like, after working in casting and broadcasting in a couple of years now, I feel like I have a good understanding. But every single time I walk into that room, someone is doing something that I have no idea what on earth is going on.
Yeah, it's always a bit of an underappreciated part of the esports industry. So
shout out
to our friends back in production. I had a chance to work production last year at Cologne for ESL 1, and that was a bit of a eye-opening experience right there.
Yeah, that's how it is. It's some, like those are some long days, because the same as the guys setting up the stage, like they are here, like they're the first ones to get here and the last ones to leave.
Pretty much.
Shout out to those guys. But yeah, still waiting to get this game going. Red Reserves and Ago. Teams who are both looking to upset in this tournament. There's a lot of teams who have that potential in this tournament within these teams. I go specifically after the Star Series performance, and let's see if they can keep it going, because we're now back in the game. 2 M4s on that CT side, all pistols on the T side, and once more Brawlan heading into T-Con, but not challenging straight off.
It's going to be interesting to see how the bracket plays out in general right now, because I personally had North set as a pretty decent favorite to take this entire tournament, but now that they've lost their opening match, like it's been thrown into chaos, and there's a lot of factors that could play this in a different direction now. So it's actually made the tournament quite interesting for me. I'm looking forward to see how that pans out.
So what? Picking up that first one, but Twist coming in back with a CZ frag and now picking up the Desert Eagle instead, and close range MP9 should win out that duel and will win out that duel.
They'll take him down. So 3 players still standing strong for the Red Reserve, however. They've got most of them sitting in the back halls. It's only Hampus with a bit of a position out on the A-bomb side to try and play with. And it's a lockdown position, too, as long as PHR is always keeping eyes on the short lane there. Hampus more than likely will not be able to freely get out of that. But he'll change up position, which gives Hampus the room he needs to maneuver, or more than likely back out of this.
Smoke has been picked up by Snatchy, but that's the only one. Probably not going to be used for this one, as they feel like they have the upper hand in weaponry, so no real reason to use utility to force duels. Just sitting back for now. Hampus will be allowed onto the bomb side, but then spotted and eventually taken out. Disco Doppler on the opposite end will also be spotted. And now the B push makes sense. Brawlan with 1 frag might get the bomb down. He needs to secure some money. Yes, he will.
Just gets it as well.
Yeah.
Maybe about a half-second extra. And that would not have happened. So Ago not able to stop the bomb from going down to the ground, but they do at least succeed and securing the retake in relatively clean fashion. 2 players going down, I wouldn't necessarily say it's ultimately like very, very clean though. It's basically just going to keep their money at its current point. It's not going to let them grow any further than that though. So at the very least, good job by their opponents of keeping the money low, and not only that, but getting the plant too.
So, Godsend, what's the plan now? What kind of fast-paced round are they going to throw with these Deagles? That's the question, because this is probably not going to be one of the executes. Let's see what the plan is. Go for us for now. Just going to stand back for a bit, so nothing too crazy. PHR on the other side of things, playing CZ close in Pop Dog. Disco Doppler might be the one to challenge as a nade goes up. Hampus is trying to find an opening, but naded down to 1 HP.
He is out of there now.
See ya.
Counts his lucky stars, doesn't go down to it. And sadly, Twist is going to suffer from a similar fate here. He's getting slowly just pinged down. Groovy at the same time was also able to finish off Hampus. So he's finally been knocked out of the situation here. And Red Reserve just continuing to slow play right now, continuing to look for any opportunity they can get a quick deagle headshot and open up a lane to swing into this outer bomb site. But they are not being presented with anything by the AGO roster.
Snatchy's pushing aggressively as well. PHR's going in here,
Oh,
Twist in the anti-flash position. Doesn't work out.
Bit awkward.
Yeah. Disco Doppler though with the revenge frag. It doesn't really matter at this point. Snatchy's coming from behind with a big flank.
Yep, just on Disco Doppler, and he is completely surrounded from all directions. No escape there. Ago taking a quick 3rd round, and now this, of course, will take us into the opening gun round with Red Reserve getting their first real investment onto the board.
Brawlan. What's the call here? He could get, could go for the op and drop it over for Twist, but that's not going to be the case. It's going to be 5 AKs. As we usually see, Twist is a very good stationary, turret-esque op. So we'll probably see him more on the CT side than on the T side. Also, they might really want to do this execute. They have waited a couple of rounds, and Twist will open in Pop Dog.
Twist opening, not only that, but opening while still on the way down, gets that headshot against PHR. So they're probably going to be a little bit upset about that one, but Red Reserve certainly to be happy. It gives them a massive opening opportunity to just swing into this site now. Brawlan next up to bat here, along with Freddy B having some success by Ivy as well. Good opener from the Red Reserve, and now just looking to close down as it's brought down to Snatchy as the last man standing in a 1v4. Besides that, there's a nice clean entry on the outer site across the way for the Red Reserve roster, and that will pretty much single-handedly net them around, as I'm personally at least not expecting Snatchy to do much about this 1v4.
No, he's just going to save this up. There's no real secondary option for him, at least not a viable one. But one thing I have to say, like Red Reserve, this was not like a planned execute. This was just them taking positions, having the timing. The second the guy in Pop Dog gets the first kill, they know that there's going to be a hole in that armor. So the guys at Ivy and T-Con just start pushing up and see if they can find a duel. And then they just play in like pairs at Ivy, at T-Con. So they play in like the refrag pairs. So if the first guy gets killed, the second guy can step in and take that kill and then take the map control as well, because they know they're playing a one-man advantage. And that's just how you got to play at this point. And that's one of their strengths.
Starts out with that decent ladder drop, and then it's just kind of a domino effect from that point forward. It's actually like a very straightforward round, but it works out beautifully for the Red Reserve in that they pretty much don't even get traded at all throughout the course. They play it like nice and slow. And the important thing is that they always, relatively speaking, in terms of their positioning, always, that was very nice. Once again, we get that from Twist's perspective. They always like kind of stuck to territory that they held control of, so they were never really taking any unnecessary risks with their push, and that made it very easy to just kind of systematically execute the Ago roster there one by one.
Up on Snatchy for this time being. Opening smoke as well to get out of T-Con. Will always also block that Molotov that you can pre-throw to make sure a quick push doesn't happen. So nicely done. But now Hampus has the chance, at least walking out if he wants to, but Grubby's close range, so he's making the right choice of standing back right now. Also waiting for his opponents to maybe find an opening somewhere else. 3 men focused on that Ivy area, so that seems to be the point of contact.
They've already got the counter smoke on the left side too, so that they can try to burst out towards inner sight, but they're not going to want to do that this early on the round. And of course, they got recently countered up by a molly. Their smoke on the left side is now gone too, so that's kind of been wasted. They don't have a lot in terms of excess for that too. They've only got 2 additional smokes to try and use, and I don't know if both of them are with it at Ivy or spread out somewhere else. I'm pretty sure at least one of them is not with them. So this is now going to be a bit of a sketchy execute here for the Red Reserve. They do use one of those 2 smokes to re-smoke the left side. All moves out, tries to go for a spam. He gets an assist on 2 players along with knocking out one of those 2. Hampus and Twist both trading it back, though, to keep it even within a 3v3. Twist a little bit here, too, as he just tries to make sure that no one's looking to immediately counter him out. But Toa also going to start pushing back in. Had a great angle. For whatever reason, was not able to actually pick up the kill. Disco Doplin's knocked him out. And now Furlan is going to move in to try and start off this 2v3 retake, and has immediately lost Snatcher. The good news is that gives him the intel he needs to quickly pick up the trade kill and start looking for something on top of the bomb. The smoke's on top of it, trying to fish players out, but sadly it hasn't really worked. Nope. Not seen anyone from the Red Reserve just yet, and time is now getting far too low. He needs to get onto this bomb soon. There's the tag, and the immediate knockout from Hampus to finish things off and give Red Reserve another round.
He also made 1 steps out in that situation, and the player who was at the hell position would have probably heard that. So they know that he's not on the bomb or sitting somewhere else. They know exactly where he's at. Very nicely played. In the end, it's going to work out. That bomb will not be defused.
Remain a close match, with Red Reserve quickly getting back into the fight now. Closing in on 3-3 and likely to get it 2 when you look at the buy this time from AGO. Just a couple deagles. Already one of them going down to the ground too as PHR gets knocked out. And that's not going to serve to slow Red Reserve at all. After getting that kill, in fact, they'll speed it up. Moving quickly onto the outer bomb site. Continuing to knock out these CTs 1 by 1 until they have control, which they've now gotten. They do have to be a little bit careful. Players like Toa over there still going to be able to cause some problems. And in fact, going to kill with just the USP in hand. But I doubt we'll be seeing much more than that. In fact, there you go. There's the rest of the shutdown from the Red Reserve, as they do indeed tie us up now at 3-all.
Tied game. And we're going to see a max 7 coming in. Interesting choice from Toa. He's going to go for utility as his focus, and then the max 7 for close range battle. So I'm going to throw that over to PHR. So 1 player lacking pretty much everything, and then max 7, and then 1 player with an op that's Snatchy, of course, the usual opper. But all the M4 players, they almost have full utility. Oh, nice opening, though, from Hampus.
Snatchy trying to peek into that way too late after Hampus got a very advanced position. He had a good spawn for it too. Yeah, exactly. As you could just see the op getting traded back out now over on a Twist hands instead. He tries to pre-fire in case anyone else wanted to re-peek out from Z. He had the wall bank shot position, but quite obviously, AGO not too keen on contesting that afterwards. Snatchy goes down. Early 5v4, once again, favored for the Red Reserve is given to them. But Ago looking to innovate a little bit here and try something else. We've got some aggression from Toa, specifically on the outside. Oh, and he catches Freddy off guard. Quick little re-peek gives him a shot off Roland, too. And now he's flipped the situation, and it's Ago that actually control it now at a 4v3.
Yeah, that dumpster position is so good. If you can flash yourself out and take that before it's easy to take control of the area, the dumpster position will always net you at least a 1-for-1 plus damage. This time, he gets 2 frags and gets out alive, so that's perfect for Orlando on the bomb site.
This is the only bad side of having such an emphasis on the A site, though, is that although they now have an advantage, the rest of the Red Reserve is going to walk right into B and pretty much just get it for free after they've knocked out Furlan. Not only this, but now Disco Doplin, along with the rest of the team, if they really wanted to, can have super forward presence. In fact, so much so that Toa doesn't even expect it. Walks right into that one, is quickly knocked out by Disco Doplin, and that'll be it. PHR and Groupie sadly have no other choice here but to go for the save.
And that's the problem holding inner alone. A lot of teams do this where they'll stack 4 players around that outer bomb site. 1 will push aggressively in towards Pop Dog, and 1 will maybe push aggressively towards Ivy, and then the 2 others will be centered around the bomb site itself, leaving only 1 player to play inner. The problem is that you can either play an angle where you can get peeked from both angles and you can get a lot of information, you can see all the grenades as they come in, or you can play a very defensive, getting no information kind of angle. And when you play the angle that he tried to play there on top of the train, you are just like almost a victim to someone just walking up on either side of the train and just getting peeked out instantly. You can't hold 2 angles at one time. Like, it's just impossible. You might be lucky and get that first opening, but the second you get that opening onto, let's say, upper, the guy's going to push lower and you're dead.
continue to have a very close fought situation between both of these teams. And there's that opening kill again from Hampus, with the easy entry kill from him later on in the round as he takes out the only inner defender that they had available. That round from the Red Reserve to put them in the lead. It's not only given them a lead, but look at what it's done to Ago's economy too. They're really pretty much completely broken now, as they forced into this with a bit of an awkward buy. Obviously, Groovy and Snatchy having the saves from the previous round, but besides that, just pistol armor for their remaining 3 players. And they're going to have to hope that it's enough to stop Red Reserve from pushing ahead now, taking a more dominant lead than we've seen so far in this game.
I like this strategy in general from Red Reserve. They know that they have the weapon and utility advantage, so they fake the quick auto play with the smoke, and then they just go inside, where they know that they will eventually be enough to battle Snatchy. But actually, this is not working out for them. Robbie's gone down. 5-7 on the side. This is working, but Twist still alive, though. But he's 1v4.
Yeah, Twist being put in
stabilization, man.
Last man standing here. He's going to try to do his best, but there's the flank. Now he's been pincered in a second. Furlan's going to push him. Perfect timing on the push. We'll give Furlan pretty much the free kill, and Ago make it happen.
Yeah, I agree with the choice from Red Reserve in this kind of scenario here, like fake the outside play and then go inside because you're at max going to like face against one player. What I missed from them is Molotovs and smokes being utilized to potentially like take out that op. They're not really counting on meeting him, but then again, like you have to make sure that if he's there, you have the utility to block him off. They didn't have that. They didn't put it down at least. And that kind of kills the round. A round that they should have won.
Ago did gamble a little bit too. They had a bit of an overemphasis on the B side, 2 in the site, and I think they had a 3rd player ready to quick rotate. So they had a lot of players ready for that kind of eventuality as well, and that was a good adjustment made by Ago. That combined with just the close presence on bomb train from a player with a deagle caused a lot of chaos and a lot of hesitation from Red Reserve that they really just weren't able to come back from in time there before they got overwhelmed. And oh, that was lined up.
That was close. Twist will pick up the bomb, so still 1-man advantage for the Polish side.
Disco Doppling going to be next up to bat here. Tries to go for the peek and quickly regrets it as he's going to back away. Yeah, pretty much. And so Hampus.
He's walking in now. This is a great position for him. Grubby has seen nothing so far.
Neither is Hampus, as far as I know.
Oh
my God, the gun's
just on top.
blocking it.
Oh, there we go. Tao just coming in.
It's probably going to be a bit awkward for Grubby now. But Twist, let's see if he's going to have any luck. It's actually Grubby just completely shutting it down. Actually, Disco Doppelin and Twist getting destroyed from inside of that ladder room. And now only Brolon remains without the bomb as well. Got 40 seconds, and the bomb, thankfully, is still relatively under his control. But he is quite literally working from square one, as 0 damage has been done to the entire Ago roster. And he now has also 0 control of, anywhere on the map here. The flash goes in, but he just blinds himself with it, sadly. So PHR will have a pretty easy time of taking him out.
PHR with some really great information plays that round. He plays close to Pop Dog, so the second that he actually hears the op scope, he relays that information to the player on top of the train. So he tells him, okay, he's in this exact position, you can pre-fire him. Grubby gets the first one, and then he can take the secondary one in Pop Dog. And that's just another reason why information and having players, like, you can make a difference even though you don't get a frag. And that's something that's really counted out of Counter-Strike for a lot of people who don't play or like watch the game at a high enough level. How important information plays are, but this is also important. Braun opening up, Grubby close range also taken out, full speed ahead for Red Reserve.
Hitting that entry power nice and quick is going to give them easy access to the front half of the outer bomb site. They're not going to waste time trying to control the back half. They just force the plant early on here because they've already got a man advantage, and they are, of course, still at a bit of a disadvantage when it comes to the gunpowder. This, however, could come back to bite them now, but thankfully their close presence on bomb train is going to allow them to shut down the round and take control of another one.
Entry power, as we usually see. That's one of the fortes of Red Reserve, and Ago not good enough to stop it at this time, and it can be very hard to stop, especially if your first player goes aggressive into that Pop Dog position and immediately gets shut down. Then the retaking player or the refragging player at E-Box, he has such a hard time because he's going to be pressured from both angles. So it's tough if you get that opening, and Red Reserve, they're not going to shy away from the speed if they get that first frag. They're just going to keep on pushing.
Absolutely. That's pretty much line and sinker what we had happen right there. So it was looking like Red Reserve wanted to do kind of a slower lineup at the beginning of the round, but that all changes very quickly once they got that first very important entry kill and were able to domino effect it and take control of the rest of the round there. Got a little bit close, like we said. They left enough room for Ago to at least rotate from B and still hold the back site. But sadly, just weren't able to find trades, especially in a closer range fights. Like I saw their Opera getting overwhelmed close to bomb train because he had someone with a deagle fighting him there. So that's where Red Reserve was able to kind of flip the table and finish off the situation in their favor to now tie us at 5-5.
Very close game right now. between these two, as expected. Furlan close range for the Sinner push.
Molly's going to go down way too late. They're already going to get out crossed. And again, they find first entry kill. Snatchy is at least able to quickly trade it this time and prevent it from getting out of control. And also a quick spot on the Disco Doppler. An upper eliminates him as well. Tries to go for another one, but he got an aim punch that time. But I still think he hit. Brolan's down at 21 now.
Hampus, though, with the big flank. This could be the round-winning flank. Takes the first one, knows that it's a secondary on his left side, but at this point, he can just Molotov it out, just hold his angle, make sure that no one can push him. Stay alive, that's all he needs to do here, but he will be taken out. We'll make it a 2v2, so still possibilities for that CT side to win this, but Brolan pushing aggressively, 2 kills under his belt. And now, Twist 1v1 against PHR.
Twist
no Molotov for the bomb.
Yeah, I was going to say, does not have a Molotov, but at the same time, PHR does not have a kit to quickly get a 5-second defuse off. So Twist, he's going to whiff on his initial peek shot here, but the pressure from his nade, along with just his peek and upper, is enough to force PHR away, cause him to save, and give the round over to the Red Reserve, as they're going to go up now 6-5 with a lead under their control.
Op saved, but will it be enough to take more rounds home? I go on the CT side. Usually on train, we see them taking a bit more. Of course, they still have a decent T side, but I would say them winning 9-6, maybe even 10-5 is what they would need to get this victory. Red Reserve, decent on both sides. Definitely can apply more of that aggressive pressure on the T side, but don't mistake them for being a weak CT-sided team on train either.
Do you want to take a look at the splits happening here now from the Red Reserve as once again they go for the slow play early on. Just going to be having players lined up at Ivy, T-Con, just the default, Ivy, T-Con, and ladder room as they look for any opportunities they can to get into the site. They're going to play, I think, a little bit more slowly this time, mainly because they just broke Ego's economy. So they're not working with a whole lot here. They do want to be careful, however, so as not to run too quickly into these situations and potential stacks that we could be seeing from Ago. And there we go. The slow pace works out well for them. Twist gets the peek from Toa, takes him down. But there's the first trade from Groovy. Back over at E-Box. He's able to flash out Disco Duplin, takes him down, and now Snatchy with the up in hand is going to look to do a little bit more damage. This is where it got out of control a couple rounds back, and it looks like it may very well be happening again if Freddy B and Twist don't quickly turn it around here.
Snatchy's position will be smoked off. Nice play from Red Reserve. They know how to force their utilities into hard situations for the CTs. Twist perfect positioning onto Grubby, but PHR in an even better one, I feel like. Free frag for him, and now Freddy B 1v3.
And that's what's so frustrating, I guess you could say, about these Ego rounds is, again, they're going to play into those positions you might not expect. Freddy B being trapped out here. And now PHR sneaking in from behind, finishes him off with a collateral shot through the green train, and he gives the round over to Ago.
Looks like in that death cam for the secondary death, the player who died first going into that bomb site didn't really relay that information, maybe even get the information because of the death cam, because PHR was still in that corner, and there was no pre-fire, there was no taking over that part of the map. And then when he goes for the second duel, he's not aware that someone can wrap behind him, and that becomes his death in the end. So interesting little piece of missing information. Will also force Red Reserve to use all of their money. Get those AKs rolling. 2 players only on pistols, though.
So it's slow again from them. No anti-eco this time, however. So it won't necessarily be as easy as it could have been in the last round. Now they've got to actually work for it. Start things off, of course, with an entry kill so that they can try to take, more than likely, is what they're looking at as IB control over here. And even following that, it's no longer just such an easy task of trying to drop the 1 or 2 rifles that have usually been scavenged by Ago at the end of these rounds.
Double up setup. Snatchy and Toe. Both very good with these snipers. And definitely Snatchy, of course, being the primary one. But Toe just, in general, has a past with also playing that sniper rifle role. So he's definitely able to step up. But this time, he will go down as Sprawland's AK becomes too much to handle for him. Grubby now re-smoking and rotating away.
Red Reserve really okay bringing the wire down, but now out they're going to move, and they catch Groovy completely flashed out in the process as well. He had vision for a moment, so he saw the numbers at least, but is still going to go down to Hampus. And in fact, the entire outer yard is quickly going to fall to them. PHR tries to surprise by coming out of heaven late, but it does not work. Hampus takes him down. Freddy B is able to knock out Furlan before he can find any effectiveness in the back hallways. And now that's it. It's down to Snatchy, who's going to get pushed by Twist. Red Reserve completely wiped the slate clean, and once again, look to establish a lead.
And once again, like, we see a round where they don't have an advantage, but due to the fact that their individual skill and their aim going into these entry duels, and just in general, like 1v1 and 2v2 duels, it's just so much higher right now than AGO Go. It's looking very promising for Godson. Oh, not Godson, obviously Red Reserve. That's one.
First one.
That's one. It's looking promising for them in this tournament that all the players are able to step up because they are a team where the individuals need to carry this. There's not a lot of structure behind it, so if they can hit their shots, they're going to have a good tournament, and so far it's looking good.
And Ago sadly continuing to struggle, just building up their economy here. Kept it competitive at least, and we've seen a lot of actual upsets on runs like this from Ago, but not enough for them to sustain a lead, sadly, at this point in the match. And so Red Reserve has pushed ahead of them. It's a slow lead up again from the Red Reserve, but a little bit more decided early on in the round, whereas previously they've been playing into the default, kind of leaving the options open until the end of the round. This time is much more looking like a very decided inner push, which is exactly how I imagine it's going to fall through, especially now they got a clean entry on the Furlon.
Disco Dublin always runs so aggressively, and this time around, Snatchy will know exactly what he's doing. He's walking around making so much noise. Now Snatchy on the far lane, approaching the bomb site, twisted with one shot. Will they know that Snatchy is around? That's the question. Brolin might get surprised here. Should go away. Snatchy will land the kill, but Freddy B on the other side of the map. 2v3, low HP on Snatchy, but also on Freddy B. Grubby making his way in as well. MB9.
Nice. They get the pinch off on a twist right there, and now Snatchy up on top. They're still on the... No, they jumped out the defuse, but oh my god, the nades brought them both so low. Groupie's low as well, so he's got to be careful, but he moves in, executes one. The Molly's on the ground. The CTs have already given up, sadly. Hoppus is going to run out. He will die to the bomb explosion, and the round will go to the Red Reserve, but Ago may not even realized it with how low Hoppus' HP was. If they just got a little bit more aggressive, they more than likely would have been able to knock him out before he threw that Molly and then defuse it. Obviously, again, hindsight is 20/20, but so many ways that round could have played out differently.
Yeah, I think it's the fun of CS because it comes down to the split-second decision-making. Like, they technically played it all right, but if they just made one different decision, they could have won that round. And it's a round that, like, it's 2 minutes long, so many different decisions, and it all comes down to the fact, do we push them aggressively in the last couple of seconds, or do we not?
This is going to be a very aggressive push for the Red Reserve, but it's working beautifully. They just wipe Ago off the board. Only Toa's the only player that's been able to respond to this successfully so far by finding Brolon, but that's it. Red Reserve already have full control of the outer bomb site. Brolon with a nice trade, at least to start off the retake, and in fact, the retake's going quite well. They've brought it down to a 2v2 already.
Post-plant situation. Freddy B and Twist alive. Twist taken out now on Freddy B, but he can't hit the spray.
Wow.
That's going to be 3K for him. Diffuse coming in from Furlan. And even though they started with a 3-man, 3-kill opening, Red Reserve, they cannot get it together in that post-plant scenario. The retake for Ago is too strong.
2v4 retake, successful from Ago, and it kind of comes out of nowhere, too. Very quick, and it just seems like it's so clean, so well prepared. So nice stuff from them, as they're going to be able to pick up another round.
And that seems also to be, if I were to talk about how these guys from Red Reserve are going to approach this in general, like they're going to have an easier time opening up bomb sites, getting entries, getting into their positions. But the second the bomb goes down and they have to get into post-plant positions, they have to play a very structured style of CS, and they're going to play a team that's very good at retaking, like AGO, then they're going to be in trouble. And this round is exactly that. Like, they open up with 3 frags, get the bomb down, and then it falls apart slowly after that.
So guys, second half is going to be starting in just a couple of moments. It's been a very neck-and-neck match so far. Red Reserve having moments of glory when their rather aggressive plays work out well for them, giving them entry kills, but at the same time failing in more tactical aspects of the game, like the post plants where we've seen Ago come out successfully more than once. For the time being, it has allowed for Red Reserve to hold a 1-round advantage, but 1-round advantage is basically equivalent to a tie at halftime here, so it could really go either way as we start the second half, and don't even really have a good idea about who's going to be taking that pistol either. That pistol can prove very, very important, especially if the second and third rounds are followed up successfully.
Go did win that pistol in the first half. Can they make it 2 for 2 here on Train? That's a question. Freddy B already aggressively looking towards T-Con. Finds nothing, but Groovy will push out. DHR also getting big amount of map control, but smoke goes down. They're now stuck behind and have to revise their plan. But Snatching, he's finding holes. And he's finding kills as well. That is hilarious.
Having to do a mid-combat weapon trade out there, and it works out as Ago just run over their opponents inside of the outer bomb site and take control of a second pistol.
2 for 2. That's what you want, really. Like in a best of one, when you know it's a tight series between these two teams, and we know that due to the level that they have, you win both pistols on train. Like that's such a big advantage. If they don't take this game right now, they're going to be kicking themselves.
So 8-8, likely to go up towards about 10-8 here if we assume Red Reserve loses this round. But obviously, again, it's that second round bind.
Anything can happen.
And we've seen these second round forces, I think, for me at least, just watching Counter-Strike, I've noticed that they've become more and more successful in recent times.
Especially with the scout pistol setup that you can do. That's so powerful in these rounds.
So there's usually like a decent chance that the second force buy is actually relatively successful for the CTs nowadays, comparatively to the past. And there we go. We open our mouths and what happens. It's not done just yet, though, as Groovy finds at least one opening trade against the Red Reserve roster. He's going to continue to hold back at T-Con, finding a second now against Freddie B. In fact, it looks like he's almost read that flank that's coming in. I think it's Twists or Roland. It's actually
that's a very nice read.
Takes him out successfully, reads into the flank, and now leaves just the last two, Brolan and Twist, sitting on the back lanes.
Roland, close range onto Toa, but it will be the Polish guy to get the better of that duel. Twist is trying to hit the corner shot with the scout, but nothing's happening. Toa is just holding back. You know he has 11 HP. He's in safety if he stays behind the box, so no reason to peek.
He'll do it anyway, though. He's going to try to look for anyone peeking against him. He's just fishing for kills at this point, basically. He doesn't care if he drops that scout because, well, it's a scout. But sadly, has just had some really unfortunate timing with when he does choose to peek. Ago have peeked him, I think, like 2 or 3 different times.
And he hasn't found
anything. He's been unpeeked every single time they peeked him. Now
they're just playing with him at this
Twist is probably so frustrated. He's like, come on.
Come on, just give me a duel
like, give me a chance at least. Like, yeah, so he's just going to run away. He'll save the scout at least. It'll be nice to carry that as at the very minimum. It's going to be the one weapon that they'll have carried into this next round since they'll be full saving besides that. But I think he wanted to try and go for a kill here instead.
Still a dangerous setup, though. Scout can do damage, and even though it's just USPs, a couple of body shots and you'll finish that off. Double nade on that CT side as well on Freddie B and Hampus. Curious to see what they're going to do with that. Going to do some damage. PHR and Snatchy both go low.
It's a little bit decently low. It's a little bit late, sadly, as PHR was already out, and I think they left enough room for Snatchy to fall back. Snatchy's still in a little bit of trouble. He's got to be careful. Hampus specifically has the position up on top, but he gets saved by one of his teammates for Lon. I think actually gets the medal for that one. And Snatchy gets a quick close on Brolan despite the low HP. Nice clean round. Everyone's staying alive at the end of it, so that's great for the money build-up in the long run here. And overall, Ago just taking control of the situation at the early portion of the half. Now, granted, this same exact thing happened back in the first half, and they immediately dropped the ball and got all those rounds traded back out, starting on first gun round. That's when Red Reserve kind of kicked themselves into gear in the first half. So it's not entirely unlikely that we see something similar happen.
Both of these teams are very strong on train, sitting around the 60%, 61 and 66 respectively, with Aiko having that 5% difference. So this is a map that both of them know how to play, on both sides especially. It's not like one of them has an incredibly strong CT side. So both of them can rack out 8, 7, 9 rounds on respective side, each respective side. Right now, the utility is definitely in favor of the T side, and they also have the AWP on Snatchy. So Red Reserve will need to find some other advantage early in these rounds to play off, basically. If they can get that first duel to go their way, we know Red Reserve likes to challenge. That's why Freddie B is still here. He's very keen on winning that first duel so that they can have an advantage, then rotate back and play more defensive.
There's the flash to get PHR inside. He's going to have team support too. Oh,
that's very nicely played.
Unfortunate for PHR, though, as he kind of second-guesses himself. At the very least, Freddie B still ends up dying to the molly that was thrown onto the ground. So it equates itself to be an even 1-to-1 trade.
Yeah, that always goes in the favor of the Terrace team in this sense here, because they can just screw up and hit any bomb site they want and have a 1, maybe 2-man advantage when the rotations come in. Now, looking to see if they can find an opening on towards B. 2 players here currently for the CT side, so playing a 2-2. Probably would prefer if the Terrace went in towards that B bomb site right now. Twist and Brawline in that perfect setup.
So Ago finally getting themselves together. They're going to keep Groovy back over by Ivy to push into there. But actually, ooh, this might be a bit of a like a false flag operation here. So they've got all their smokes going back into the B-bomb site. Well, the execute is actually coming down ladder. They take a bit of a gamble and sending 3 guys down ladder. And oh no, Disco Doppelin throws a bit of a wrench in their plans. Hampus picked up the kill against their lurker. Groovy back over by Ivy too. So this is not shaping up even close to the clean fashion they would have liked to have this. I don't even know if they're going to get a plant now. Snatchy's alone. He's got a 1v3. It is not physically possible for him to get 2 kills in that little amount of time, and even worse, he goes down post-timer, so no bonus money for him either.
I'm pretty sure Brawlan got the frag under the bomb train there. He came in from the connector, CT connector, and then like heard the bomb ticket or the bomb plant sounds, and then started shooting under the train. Half of it you can't see it, and then you can kind of spray it. That's such a nice play as well, because that cancels the bomb plant, that cancels the whole timing. They can't really play around it anymore. Very nicely played by Brawlan. And
it was unnecessary, too, to kind of make that change up as well, because they had a pretty straightforward execute going into the inner bomb site. They had smokes and everything lined up for it, tried to pull the fake. It did not catch anyone from Red Reserve off guard, and when they rotated back in, it was actually Ago that was caught off guard because they weren't expecting Red Reserve to have anyone inside of that outer bomb site still defending it, and they paid the price for it in a very big way.
Yeah, the two rotating players on the B side rotated very quickly towards A as well. So they knew exactly what was up. Like 10, maybe even 5 seconds after those grenades were thrown inside, they just rotated back outside because they were just saying, yeah, this is fake, don't worry. Disco double, trying to spray through the wall, but not really doing much damage.
Yeah, no success really being found there. So we are going to see, though, is Ago getting ready to, I think, do the plan from last round now, which is going to be the straightforward execute into the inner bomb site. This time, let's hope they can follow it through, though. Something scared them off and made them go over towards A previously. This time, no, it is going to be the straightforward play heading in towards inner. Brawlan ready to defend. He's dropped the bomb already. Tries to go for the player on upper, but he will be traded out by PHR. Twist is still sitting in back lanes, but he hasn't realized Furlan's pushed forward. So another kill is netted by Ago. However, here comes Hampus. He's going to look to try and reverse it, but sadly, the numbers continue to stack out against Red Reserve's favor. Snatchy also recently took out another one of their players, so it's down to a 2v3. Now a 2v2, though, as Hampus has taken upper control, knocks out PHR.
Nice little masking of his drop sound.
Oh, hello.
What can he do in this one? 1v1 pushes, gets the frag, and now Freddy B all alone. Toa even has a Molotov, so this is very hard to win for Freddy B. He has to go for the duels. We'll take the first one down, and now it's doable once more. Op versus Op, 1v1.
Trying to flash it against Snatchy. It's going to be a successful one, too. Jumps right onto it. However, he did not realize, I think, how close Snatchy was to the situation. Maybe thinking he was on top of ramp instead, playing into that back haul there, waiting to throw the molly down on the ground. So instead, he will get an op shot to the face, and another round goes over to our friends from Ago.
It's a very nice read by Snatchy in that situation, because when you're in a 1v1 and you're not playing the upper position with the Molotov, chances are you're probably going to play the lower ramp. So he actually sees that and then like walks out and plays the left angle instead of the right angle on the ramp, because you know that the CT is going to probably look towards that. And then when the Molotov jumps out, he's absolutely sure that he can go for the peak. That's just nice timing, nice decision making. And this is also very nice from Freddy B pushing in, but only getting one.
Overstayed is welcome there, so he does get traded back out, and Snatchy found another kill too, but that was also just recently traded back out, so we're already down to a 3v3, like 20 seconds into the round here. So both teams really just throwing everything they have in combat. Specifically, though, Ago was already able to take control of the A site as a result of those trades. They will have to be worrisome of the flank coming at them, and not only that, but Hampus is scout apparently too. Now Brawlan's going to move in. This is going to add even more chaos situation. They're completely falling apart, and even worse, Furlan only has a MAC-10 to clutch this. Wait.
Hampus killed Twist.
What? How did that happen?
This is doable now. He's going straight for the defense.
He's going to move back out there, yeah. Oh, he's not even...
He's sticking it!
Oh, no! He jumped off of it, I think. Either that or he had more than a 5-second defuse.
He clutches a 1v3 against fully weaponized players with a MAC-10 blue. He gets some help as well, let's be real.
Yeah, for the other team.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Oh, so that was just a a reaction thing there.
All right, Furlan. And he keeps the MAC-10, of course.
You hate to see that.
You hate that. That's really, you hate to see it in one of those rounds.
I mean, well, of course you keep the MAC-10 now, because look at the buy.
He's going to farm it up.
Like, all right, I'm just going to get some money. Yeah.
This works against weapons. Obviously, it's going to work against pistols, surely.
Yeah. And against all USPs here, too. So this is the chance on the opener, but he's got a couple more players by Z and Bomb Train, and there we go. Stacks up a cool $1,200 for both of those kills, along with the bonus for winning the round is now Ago are really just running away with it.
I feel like that was the swing round right there. Like the MAC-10 round, the MAC-10 1v3. If they won that, Red Reserve would have been so close to tying it up as well, and they would have like been running on economy and everything else. But allowing a MAC-10 to clutch that might have been the best of one, just slipping out of the hands right there. They take a pause. This I agree with very much. So this is a nice call from Nasri. I think he has to stabilize the players, because right now they're in tilt mode. He has to bring them back, bring back the game plan, focus on what they're good at, focus on their own strengths, and then move into this, because they cannot doubt themselves right now. This is one of the hardest things to play in Counter-Strike. When you're down a couple of rounds, nothing's really working for you, you need to get back.
Absolutely, and they're going to be running out of chances here relatively quickly, with Ago recently picking up this recent round here. Just a few more away now from being able to close out the match at 13-9. Especially with this one, I believe, being an investment from the Red Reserve. There we go. It's the usual investment, 4 M4s and the ult. But look at how quickly Ago are trying to take control. The problem is Groovy does get caught with some spam through the smoke there, and that allows Hampus to pick up the quick kill. It was the only one that had pushed out, though. Groovy just alone trying to lurk, get intel early on in the game. He will be punished for that, and Snatchy's now found the trade by knocking out Hampus from, I think, inside of T-Con here.
Snatchy just trying to find an opening that Molotov will block off the player in Pop Dog.
No,
Furlan.
The timing for Furlan was perfect, too, because Twist was watching that exact angle, but it swiped away just as Furlan ran around the corner there. Now, thankfully, Disco Doppelin there for a quick trade. Freddy, oh my god! That takes some
Either you rotate back
that
and lose like 50% of your HP, or you peek into that position going up the stairs. Those are your two choices. Snatchy takes down Disco Doppelin, and now Brolan, the Swedish Wunderkid, in a 1v2. Does have a kit though, still possible, but bomb has been planted yet. He has been spotted. Snatchy missing his shot, but surely he cannot clutch this.
I mean, they're going for the kills though. Yeah, I was gonna say, Ago weren't necessarily focusing on the plant. They were trying to go for the kills right there to quickly close back out. It's a good thing they did. It works out well, but it was also dangerous because they were doing it in a way that would have given them those two separate 1v1s, and that's the perfect situation for that last man on Red Reserve to win it.
That's the opening. I think that was a flash timing as well from Ivy. So very nicely done, Snatchy. Double up kills, 14-9. Red Reserve on a 4-spy. It's going to be FAMAS and 4 set of pistols. Only 1 kit as well, and very limited utility. They need to get an opening to get an AK on someone, to get some map control. Twist might be the one, but he's not good enough. 14 HP remains.
No assists coming in from that, despite having a teammate near him, Hampus.
Yeah. That should have been the refrag.
And Hampus did have a flash as well, so... And I think he threw something else also a couple seconds ago, so I'm pretty sure there was assistance available, but they just didn't want to coordinate it.
Yeah, he smoked off Ivy instead of pushing it, so played the more defensive part, which is fair enough.
At the very least, damage was done to Toal, bringing him down to about 15 HP, but at the same time he also picked up the kill. So now it is the 2-man setup that they're going to try to use to defend Ivy. Keep in mind, that's only 2 players pushing in from that angle, though. They're still going to be working out towards T-Con and probably ladder drop too. Now, granted, Red Reserve has some good intel right now, specifically around B, because they've made the push onto the inside. Oh, Brolon firing off. Oh! PHR absolutely should have won that one. Brolon gets away with murder, knocking out PHR there, and is going to be able to run away into the B site, along with all that intel he just got as well.
Hampus will be taken out, but plenty of damage done. Freddy B coming in with a Desert Eagle as well. And 2 players now on 14 and 15 HP on Ago. This is definitely doable for Red Reserve, but Disco Doppelin does go down.
That was their last player that was at high HP, though. Every single member of Ago is pretty much one-shottable right now, but the 2 still alive on Red Reserve.
This is tense. Brolan picks up the first one. Knows at least one more of these 2 are low HP. Secondary position is E-Box. This is doable, and it will happen. 3 kills from Brolan, starting things off, and Freddy B with 2 as well.
There we go. It's a very slow process, a bit of an arduous one, and a very, very close one that really could have swung either way. But it comes down to the timing, the peaks, who spots who first, and Red Reserve comes out on top of that situation. Keeping them competitive, keeping them in the game, more importantly, as they would have had a very, very similar buy, maybe with an extra rifle or 2 going on to what would have been the map point for AGO. Now they prevent that, and at least have a few more opportunities to get back into the game here.
That's the difference that Brolan can make. Like, if you allow him to win those duels, or at least get the first one, then he will just spin out of control. He's one of those young players that, when given the chance and when given the space, he can be a difference maker, but he kind of needs that initial kick. He's kind of like Esperanto in that sense. Like, he needs the initial kick, but when he gets going, there's no one who can basically stop him when he is in the zone winning those same duels.
So let's see now, as we are going to have Ago pretty much go all the way in on the B-bomb site here in a couple of seconds.
Only 1 B player.
Yeah, and no one standing by to Z rotate either, which is going to be the problem. They've got guys close to Z, so it's more likely still going to be relatively quick rotates, but no one at the ready with the recent loss of Freddy B. They have to focus on the outside. Going to keep most of their men there. But like I said before, quick rotates, so here they come. These 2 are going to start working their way over. They won't commit to it just yet, though, mainly because of the smoke blocking off Z. But Roland, nice position found right below upper. He's going to be able to pick up a kill. Sadly, it's short-lived. Furlan immediately trades it and now has the aggressive control on Z and re-smokes it. So pretty much the worst-case scenario for the Red Reserve, and they know it. So they're backing away. They're going to call for the save. They know they can't win this one, and they need guns for what could be the last gun round coming up here.
It was so unfortunate as well. Like, the second that Roland gets that opening peek, there could technically be 2 guys pushing out of Link, or C, if you will. But the smoke actually blocks him from doing that. If that smoke wasn't there the first one, they could probably have won that duel, and then 2 frags going into the retake. Everything could have been very different. The timing on the smokes there, on point from Ago. 15-10.
So while Twist will knock out one player, you can see the money's okay, so they're not going to have to worry about that loss too much.
Snatch on 26 frags right now. That is quite impressive.
It's definitely been the big fragger so far for Ago. And as the Opper as well, leading the charge for his team, doing some impressive things. Keep them on top of the situation at 15-10. The forced rebuy into the round for the Red Reserve is actually not bad, mainly because of a lot of those saves coming in for the last round, but they are still going to end up with a couple downgrades, specifically the FAMAS and the UMP, sitting on Freddy B and Brolan respectively. But because of the saved guns, they do still get full utility kits as well, so they're not going to be completely useless when it comes to defending things in the long game. Ruby, once again, trying to sneak through that short lane, gets spotted by the Opper and goes down, but it's not long before Snatchy is contributing once again, so he's traded out Twist.
Twist has had a bit of a struggle getting into the gear that he can be in on train. Like, this is one of the maps where he can be a difference maker, but hasn't really made it into his map so far. Like, he hasn't been completely down and out. He's been getting frags here and there, but he has a level, or at least like a top level on train where not a lot of players can match him. But we haven't seen that yet.
Bit of hesitation here from Ago now. Got everything they need to execute. Waiting for the actual execute. Ompus as well, waiting for him on top of the blue train. Finds Toa, trying to sneak out a peek against him from inside of T-Con. And even worse now is they're just giving them individual peeks one by one. So that jitters that I've often seen where teams will want to slow play their final round, but it just ends up coming back to bite them in a major way. Because look, they've just given the Red Reserve 4 individual 1v1s with which they easily win them all.
Yeah, and that's the difference, right? Like, the individual strength on these Red Reserve players should be a bit more than what is on Ago. So if you take the 1v1s, then they're just gonna win it.
Yeah. And so they try to, like I said, they try to play it slow for mystical reasons that I will never understand. And it always seems to happen when teams get up to round number 15 there. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just, sadly, it's always done in a way where, like I said, they just gave the Red Reserve members so many individual 1v1s, and literally not a single one was converted.
What I think they'll do right now, of course, this is the eco, so they're just going to try and go for the B plant if they get the bomb down. That's perfect. But in the next buy round, go for something quick. That should be the play. But let's see on this round. First, will they get the bomb down? Will they get something done? Roland picks the bomb off. Secondary player also taken out. That's Twist. Bomb is still in T control, and they will get the plant. So plenty of money for that next buy.
Freddy gonna have to run around the flames here. He manages to pick up the kill against Furlan, but Toa was the last one standing, and now he has fallen as well. Like you said, they at least managed to scavenge together the plant to give them the extra cash going into the next round. It still falls to the Red Reserve.
This is where I want to see Ego just do a quick, like, outside push. 1 towards Pop Dog, 1 or 2 towards Ivan, and the rest straight out of T-Con. It's a really ballsy call to make. I know, like, back in, what was that, the major that Astralis won in that final call where they make the Glaive makes the big balls call to rush outside. That's the kind of play I want them to make right now. This could completely disrupt what Red Reserve are doing on the CT side, but it's not looking like it. They're going to go back to basics.
Just a spot from Snatchy. He's not going to be able to put the kill together here. So Homfist gets a little bit of intel about what's going on in T-Con. That's standard, though, so he's not going to be able to play off of that. But yeah, it is looking like Ago just in general is going to go for this slow style play again. I do want to note that they've kind of given up on Ivy for now.
Yeah, just have one T-spawn watching, and once more, like, giving individual duels. Yeah. No one is there to refrag.
There's no one's using utility to peek these either. Like, they're just going for individual 1v1s. They're not like they're not even trying to like pre-flash themselves or anything. There's another example of it right there. That's 2 now they give it them. Granted, that one's a little bit more predictable, but
Hampus take out Toa. Bomb is now dropped.
Same thing.
And this is so hard for Snatch in this position because he has to watch 3 different angles. And the second he watches something Hampus pops up on the other angle. And once again, like these are the kind of rounds that I feel like, yes, you have a chance of winning if you have a specific execute, but just trying to peek 1v1 and then eventually doing something, that's not the way to go. And also they had a lead, so I feel like they could justify doing a quick push just to see what would happen, because they were up 15 to 12, 15 to 11. It doesn't happen this time around, and now it will be 15-13. I'm pretty sure they're either on pistols or full eco now.
Well, yeah, so I was going to say, they pretty much just guaranteed the 30th round by losing that one right there. So this is going to be pressure on Ago now. They had a clean scoreline to try and close this one out. And sadly, the 2 gun runs that they've had to try and actually do it, they've kind of thrown it away by just forcing themselves into multiple 1v1 situations.
It's just going to be pistols, 1 player with armor and 1 smoke on Tao.
Early nades. Sadly not going to do a whole lot of damage here, but again, it's anti-eco. That's not too much of a worry for them, as long as things don't get too far out of control. Ooh, Disco Doppler, he's got to move. He's going to be in a bad spot if he doesn't get assistance soon. In fact, down he goes. Twist quickly wrapping, though, reading into that situation, but even he's going to end up going down. A lot of damage against the Red Reserve roster, but that doesn't mean anything now, because we got round 30 coming up after this anyway. As long as everybody can rebuy, that is perfectly fine. Snatchy.
This is a winnable 1-by-1. Like, he has an AWP, he has 100 HP, he has the bomb. Sneaky rotate around.
Brolon's hesitating on that as well. Brolon knows that he might be going for that, but doesn't want to commit to it if he's wrong. So it looks like Snatchy is going to get a little bit lucky here this time, and that Red Reserve will choose not to rotate into him. So he'll be given all the space he needs to get over to the B bomb site and find a plant.
Brolon and his teammate are going to rotate in. Are they going to play refrag, or are they going to come from 2 different angles here? Refrag is the name of the game. That's the right choice in my opinion as well.
Snatchy as well, playing himself into a very forward angle, hoping for a rotate through spawn. Doesn't get it, though. Both end up working their way out through Z and quickly dispatching him as he's peeked toward the wrong position when he finally peeks out from the tanker.
Round number 30. Who's going to take it home? Is it going to be OT? Or will I go grab this one to go?
Well, we said the series was going to be close.
This is as close as they come.
Quite literally. It's up to the Red Reserve now, battling it back after Ago kind of ran away with things at the beginning of their T side, but have failed to close out. So let's see if they finally want to change up the pacing a little bit, or if Ago is still going to want to stick with a slow and kind of methodical approach, which sadly on their last 2 attempts to close out the match has not worked.
Setting up to go towards the B bomb site right now, slowly but surely taking map control. On the other side of the smoke is Brolon. But he has backup. A player has rotated in, so there are 2 players on this B bomb site right now. They're expecting this B push to come. Brolon's playing so close to the smoke. He gets a secondary one, and now could be in the smoke, taking that first one down and the second.
Manages to pick up 2 big kills and see if he's going to make a push. He sees the spam coming in for Toa, gets another kill onto the board for himself as well. Might have just single-handedly guaranteed overtime for his team, as now Groovy and Snatchy are going to have to try to find a way to bring this back. In a 2v5, though, with the bomb on the ground, sitting right under Brolon's feet, though. I don't see this happening. I think it's a pretty safe bet we go to OT, but let's find out. Let's see what exactly the plans that Snatchy and Groovy have to bring this back, if they have any at all.
What a play by Brolon. Like, that is a big boy play right there. Pushing aggressively into lower. Knows he has the backup from his teammate, but also knows that he can make such a big difference if he gets that opening. Then he gets 2 and a third one through the smoke. Goes even for more spray through the smoke. Dropping down to 42. Snatchy has to make a miracle.
It's going to be brought low, but that doesn't matter once again. Snatchy quickly sneaking back in, but he's immediately traded out by Disco Doppler. Ruby can't even get to the bottom of ramp. He's knocked out. And we do indeed see the comeback from Red Reserve as they bring it up to 15-15 and trigger overtime.
Hampus and Brolon, the 2 young guys and the 2 new guys in this team, definitely making the difference here. Brolon this round, this is what he can do. This is the difference that Brolon can make. And he's still a very young player, and he's making plays like that on LAN in round number 30.
Comes down to the clutch, and he still brings the heat just when it's needed. So it's brought Red Reserve back into the fold, brings them back into the competition, and now we trigger overtime. It'll be MR3's 16K out of a period of 6 rounds. One team needs to win 4 out of 6 of them. If the teams tie at 3 rounds each, then the situation will reset and start over again.
Brolon, can he continue to be the CT side hero that Red Reserve needs? Question. He has definitely been so far. Twist, if he just manages to get up on his usual train level, then I'm pretty sure this will be a Red Reserve win, but there's still some question marks around this team. Ago also has question marks around it. They should have been able to close this one out, but let it slip.
The other problem for Ago now, too, is that they're no longer going to have the benefit of working against any anti-eco rounds, which they got a lot of throughout the course of this matchup. So did Red Reserve, granted, but still, it's going to be all gun rounds from this point forward. So far, it started out. Oh, Furlan, nicely. I was going to say, it starts off relatively even, but Furlan changes that entirely and puts it pretty much fully into the hands of Ago here now. Oh, wow. And he's going to get another one, too. He's almost got the ace now. Sadly, I think he's going to miss that one. Maybe not. Hold on. Let's see. Disco Doplin at least moves in. Finds the pickup on Groovy. But he's still got to get past Snatchy, along with a few other players still sitting down below him at the bottom of that site. So I think it's a safe bet to say that Ago has control of this opening round now.
That is what they needed as well, from coming back, losing a bunch of rounds in a row and not really feeling confident, getting shut down by Brolin in that final one. Then Furlan steps up and gets the ace. That is exactly what they need for their confidence to get back.
There you go. So clips off the last player as he was trying to fall back to save and completes the series to get himself a nice little ace to start off overtime 1. Good boost to the confidence of the team. Hopefully not over-relying on that in the futures, but at the very least, putting that first run up on the board certainly helps their own confidence trying to close out this match. Just 3 more to go for them, and they've got control of the map.
Play here. I go. The plan. Splitting up 3 guys towards Ivy. Want to make sure that no push happens in her, and you can kind of shut down at different angles, and then 1 guy towards Pop Dog. Very standard setup. Could also be the blueprints for a split B with focus on the back line onto A going through CT spawn. There's a lot of ways that this default can go right now.
We are going to see Ago just go for a slow walkout over here towards Ivy. One that isn't being defended either. Red Reserve have chosen not to have anyone here. Man, Hampus is going to quite literally turn his back on it. He might just get caught in the hall.
Yeah, I think he got caught.
Yeah.
Knife out almost. And this is the question. Yeah, they are running the CT play. This is the blueprint. This was the blueprint for the split B through CT. And this is exactly what we're going to see. But Roland is still on lower, but he will be shut down. Twist close range though. Missing an op shot though.
Already got the close kill on Snatchy before, but now he's stuck at upper. Freddy B having to back up, quickly looking for the kill onto the upper player, finds it. But as he pushes back out, Toal is immediately ready to trade that against Freddy B. Still holding a 3v2 advantage, and now with the bomb onto the ground. It's going to be a bit of a weird retake position from the 2 players still alive on Red Reserves. Both are coming from back box halls. Go already positioned and ready to stop it. And they even planted to counter it out. Groovy, as long as nobody checks for him, he's got an easy close on at least one of these players. The second one is pincered, but Groovy's going to take care of him anyway.
Yeah, that's one of those like one-off strats you can throw out in very decisive rounds or overtime rounds. Like you can pull that CT push into that B bomb site, and that allows you a post-plant situation where it's almost impossible to lose it because you have so much map control of that in a bomb site if you do it correctly. Such a nice little strat to copy. It's been out here for almost like, it feels like a decade. The good old push CT on T side and then wrap towards B. And it still works.
Convincingly as well. Red Reserve doesn't really know what hit them specifically. I think it was Humpus that got caught.
Oh yeah, the timing was terrible.
Yeah. Completely backing away from Ivy. I don't know where he was trying to go towards to defend, but got caught with a knife out in the back hall there.
Yeah, that's a wonder of a contact play, right? Because they play contact for the first couple of seconds, then they smoke out, so he knows something is up, but he has no idea how far they are. They could be in front of the smoke, they could be behind the smoke, they could be running through the smoke on towards the bomb site. So he has 3 to 4 different angles he has to worry about. So he's mid-transition between those angles when he gets caught. And it's such a hard game to play because he doesn't have anyone on the other side to help him out. And that's the strength of the contact smoke play on Ivy as well. So
we've got to go ready to push in towards T-Con and probably just go for a quick outer execute within these next couple of seconds. Time is getting low, so they do need to commit to something soon, as they've taken pretty much zero map control besides that. I'm just sitting back running the timer down. Oof.
That's a nice smoke.
They're going to get denied, though, as soon as they are ready to move in as well. The Red Reserve knows it. They've even got Twist forward over here by the server. Cubby ready to take the fight. He knocks out one. He's looking for a second, but he's going to back out of the fight for now. They've got a man advantage. They're going to stick with that, especially with the time being as low as it is. 20 seconds remaining. The push into T-Con comes out from PHR successfully. But look, they're pulling a lateral right now. The good news for Red Reserve, though, is that Freddie B is sitting at the bottom of ladder and will more than likely be able to hear this. So that's going to cause them to not have any players on B shift out. Roland pushing forward. Destroys one of them. Is not going to be able to immediately kill the bomb planter. And in fact, Snatchy gets the room he needs to pick up the trade. Sadly, Freddie B is also moving in, and he clips out two. PHR, why do you not have your gun out in that situation? Now it's a 1v2 as Groovy's going to try to work his way in, but Twist completely unknown to Groovy, and the bomb is pretty much already defused anyway.
That looked so good when Snatchy got that one-up frag, and then yes, he's being pressured, but PHR is ready to come in with the refrag, but for some reason he has his gun out. Like, this is where Snatchy calls this to PHR, and PHR should be ready with the refrag. But I don't know if it's communication or just maybe he wanted to go for the peak on upper, but that situation, in 2020 hindsight, of course, is where PHR should have peaked.
So that's gonna
in my opinion.
That's going to end the first half, as we do see Red Reserve putting up a third and final round, or a third, puts their third round up onto the board. It's their first of OT. So let's put it 17-16. Red Reserve needs to win all three of the next 3 rounds to close out here, whereas their opponents, Ago, only need 2 of them.
Definitely doable. CT side train winning 2 rounds in OT. I would take those odds any day of the week. Ruby getting naded out a bit, down to 55. Does get the Molotov off, so he denies the quick push out of right side. T-Con. Nicely done. Making sure that that map control will not go to his opponents. He does take some damage for it in the end, but I feel like that's a worth trade. Keeping map control. And as long as they have someone right now watching close to towards Pop Dog, which PHR does, I feel like they have a very good grasp of the defensive setup on this here A bomb side I go. This is a very nice setup for them. They also have 2 players on B. This only leaves Ivy open, but I'm pretty sure Tao will be the one to watch that.
So Red Reserve still hesitating a little bit here. This time is getting low for them. No push into either of the sites. In fact, no aggression whatsoever from them. This time's been brought down this low. They are going to have to form up for it relatively quickly. Ago, at the same time, staying pretty much stalwart in their current positions, not shifting an inch. Ready to take on the fight whenever it does eventually move in. But when is it going to happen? Within these next 5 seconds or so, Red Reserve are going to leave themselves with quite literally 0 room for mistakes here. If they get tripped up at all, they will more than likely run out of time to plant. Thankfully, it starts off well with Hampus' first entry. Groovy is caught looking at nothing, and Toao is taken out with his back turn. So it's exactly what Red Reserve wanted, and it's a nightmare for Ago, as they just can't control the situation. A good wraparound from Snatchy that could have denied the plan, but it comes in just a little bit too late.
Yeah, 3 individual players on the CT side of Ago there missing shots and having unlucky timings. For example, the guy on the ladder making the drop sound as he wants to peek, and then like he has left side and right side just pushing at him both times because they both hurt him, so they're just going to pincer him. Bunch of small mistakes being made by Go here, and this is what have like allowed Red Reserve to get back into the game. Still a double up setup, of course. On the CT side, they still have a big chance of taking this one back, but Red Reserve now with a slight upper hand in momentum.
Hampus this time just walking right in to the inner sight here. It's going to be a quick trade from Snatchy, as that was a bit of a disconnected incident. Didn't really seem like the rest of Red Reserve was really with Hampus, to be completely honest, but at least gives him a little bit of intel to try and play off of now. But still, it's served to just bring it down to a 4v4. Specifically, Red Reserve getting ready to probably move in for some Ivy control here over the next couple of seconds.
2 smokes remaining on the CT side with 1 minute and 5 to go. Hasn't used any of them yet. Toa doesn't have any smokes on him, so he can't really smoke it off and leave, so he has to stay there. PHR, close range. We'll grab that first one, and now Red Reserve are in trouble. 2v4, PHR does manage to get on top of the train. And yeah, he has the upper hand in that one. Freddie B now 1v3.
He's going to overexpose himself trying to pick up that rifle, though, so it goes down in the trade of Freddie B, but 1v3 now is what Freddie B is forced to do. And he's completely surrounded, so Groovy will shut it down and put Ago on map point.
This is where Red Reserve need to step their game up. This is one of the hardest rounds to get back, but definitely know they have the quality. The individual players have that skill, but double up setup on CT side. They've done very well so far. On a go. This will be a monumental task for Red Reserve. Pushing quick. But there's the Molotov.
Oh, he's going to do a lot of damage here, too. In fact, it burns out one of them entirely. He was blinded, though, PHR was, so he's still going to get traded relatively quickly by Disco Doppelin. And Groovy also falls here as well. Snatchy looking for anything he can try to find from within inside of that smoke, but there's nothing to be seen so far by him. He uses his own to put 4 jumps onto it. Oh, I was about to say, there's no way that's going to work. Furlan at least picking up a trade after his teammate is lost. But now he is low, too, and he's got to be very careful about this. It's a quick peek from Disco Doppelin to trade that back out. And now for Toa, he's going to dive back into this situation, but it's too late. Furlan's got the angle below him. He'll take him out, and that'll tie us up.
That was the quick push that I wanted in the ordinary time. Like, 3 guys coming from one angle. They will get Molotov, then yes, one dies. But the fact that they can get the smoke down from T-spawn, get that bomb planted, hold post-plant positions, and just in general just push out, get that map control, that's worth trading at least a player for. And it also takes balls to make that call in the last round of OT. Just say, okay, let's just go for an aggressive push. We know what they have, and we feel like we can break it. And they broke it. 18-18, we will go to OT2.
So the magic number to win now becomes 22, with 21 being the tie point that'll trigger a triple OT. Like I said before, guys, it's 4 out of 6 rounds you need to close out. Otherwise, you cannot be claimed the winner of the match. And the situation will continue to repeat itself over and over and over again. With a new OT starting, though, and a new half starting, money is reset once again, though, to 16K at start. So it's a bit of a shopping spree for both these teams. Ago, the only one that really takes a heavy advantage of it, though, by going for a double upset at everybody else, just buying a more straightforward buy. Oh, man.
That's unfortunate.
Got the smoke down at least, so keeps himself alive, but he does have to pretty much immediately reveal that he's in that corner.
Yeah, everyone knows exactly where he is right now. That's why Grubby is just trying to tap through. If Hampus tries to leave, some of those shots would have caught him. Toa just peeking aggressively onto Brawlan will take him out of the equation. One of the better players. And Furlan also wrapping around Hampus. That's a 2 top fraggers on Red Reserve taken out.
Freddie B also getting dinked down to 12 HP as well. Certainly not.
This round is just impossible for Red Reserve.
Yeah, Red Reserve are just not getting anything going their way here. Furlan even diving into the face of Twist, but at least that goes well for Twist. Sadly, he tries to peek the top train afterwards, and Groovy immediately finds the trade because of that. Just Disco Doppelin and Freddie B now are the only 2 left standing in this situation. Both with very minimal control of the actual outer site here, too. Mainly using that smoke to just get back control of the bomb, and then try to continue to push towards the site. Disco Doppelin hits the kill, though. He's able to move in, knock out PHR, finds another one. He is not caught onto Groovy just yet, so he will move in, catch the trade, and Snatchy, how do you miss that one? Freddie B just standing in the open. Apparently him moving about 2 inches caused him to miss.
Oh,
my
Freddie
goodness.
B. Is he going to make this happen? On the back of Disco Dopplin's double kill.
Seen him! Oh, he's got a blind!
Oh,
How did you? Oh my
blind.
God! What is happening? Snatchy's now been gifted a chance to get back into this, and he's going to take it with a pistol in hand, giving Ago the round.
That was back and forth as I ever saw a round.
A lot of missed shots there.
That fully flashed.
Bit of a messy one.
Yeah. As Pimp said, it's probably going to be messy Counter-Strike, but it will be entertaining Counter-Strike.
And yeah, Snatchy finally realizing, oh wait, he's low. I can just finish him off with the pistol, and taking full advantage of that at the end of the round there. So, Ago pushing ahead first to start off OT, but again, much like the beginning of the last OT, still a long way to go to actually close out here.
They have a problem closing out. They have so in ordinary time. They have problems in the first OT, and they're probably also going to have problems here in second OT. But still, being 1 round up, they are the favorites. Close range, pre-fires. Just to get anything out of it.
Spam continuing to roll in there too, but not to too much success.
It's going to be the B push, surely. Everyone is lined up for it.
Molly from Snatchy at least can deny it for a couple of extra seconds. Oh, this is a nice hops, Hampus. Come on, let's see it again. Oh, okay.
So after setting up for that B play, due to the pressure that comes in from the CT side, we also see the rotation come back. And the reason why everyone's clapping right now is because all the light just turned off. here at DreamHack, so now it's officially DreamHack time. The event has started. Just for your information.
We've kicked it off, so welcome.
That's a nice peek from Disco Doblin. Freddy B as well.
And now. See Disco Doblin start to move back in from upper here, but now the ramp play comes in too. Groovy's caught back off because of that. As far as I'm concerned, this round's unrecoverable at this point for Ago. And with Twist getting that last kill, it's pretty much fully secure. Toal mainly just looking to survive the situation at this point, as he's at the very least traded a Hampus, but again, just has absolutely zero route back into that B site. It's going to be safe for him. Walks up to it, but predictably gets immediately spammed as soon as he crosses the threshold. And indeed, he'll also finish it off. Brolan picking up that last kill and tying it at 19-19.
All tied so far, and yeah, we said it. This was going to be a close game, and we've seen nothing else than that. These two teams so evenly matched. Not much between them at this point. Tied up in OT. Double up setup once more, as we usually see. Toa and Snatchy, both with it. On the T side is Twist as per usual. Nothing changes.
Red Reserve getting ready to move themselves in. Looks like they're going to try to go for a quicker lineup this time, or at least a more direct lineup than we've seen in previous rounds. Just everyone stacked up in those back box halls ready to go. Hampus looked like he was going to try to throw a little bit of a fake from inside of the ladder room, or at least make some noise to keep the players rotated inside of A. But even he might shift away from this and regroup with the rest of his team, which is exactly what he's done now. Here we go. They've got nades ready to go. We're just waiting out the smoke on ramp. So there's nothing else holding them back. They're going to go for a deep dive into the inner sight, and it starts out great by blinding Furlan, forcing him back.
Brolan with an opening onto Snatchy. Furlan on the site will be shot down as well by Brolan.
Running it over at this point, too. Freddy B, Disco Doblin, everybody contributing to a piece of this take.
Yep.
It's left one man standing alive again. Very similar to how the last round played out. Ago, last man alive, Peter. He's actually going to try to go back into the site, but yeah, it's a bit futile. He'll go down, and Red Reserve will take the lead at the end of the first half of double OT.
Those full-speed T-side executes from Red Reserve, there is no match for it. Every single time they do that, Ago just get caught off guard. They cannot win these duels. Brolan just rushes in, takes everyone down with him.
Takes command.
Yeah.
There we go. Third one that he picks up there at the end of the round as well. So that will trigger halftime, and we will go into the second half without too much more delay, guys. Should just be a couple of seconds, and we'll get to dive right back into it. And now, for the first time, really, since at the very least, since like the middle of regulation, it's going to put Ago into a pressure spot. They're behind now all of a sudden, and they have to fight from the back.
Ago.
That guy's got the wrong jersey. He missed the memo.
Yeah. I'm not even sure. Maybe there may be some place around this venue you can buy a Red Reserve jersey. I know they have like a merchandise store here. Maybe you can get a new one. Oh, Snatchy needs a new op.
There we go.
And he gets another shot, and that makes it. Luckily for him, second try works out. And this one works out as well.
Oh, now he's cleaning up here. This is dangerous for Snatch. Remember, he's been the front runner for his team too. Moves in to line up another frag, pick up this time, and now he should be able to spot the boost up and know how to nade out. So sadly, is not going to be able to contest Disco Doblin, taking him down. Even worse, PHR just blindly planting. Oh my goodness, this could be it right here. As Red Reserve are going to try to look right up to Matt Point, but no, Toa saves it, flips the situation back around, and instead, it's a Go that control it.
Once more, back and forth round, like, at multiple points, it looked like one team had the upper hand. Like, after Snatchy just opens up with two outside, gets map control, and the third one as well, like, you think the round is over. Just
so unpredictable, the action that we're having here. Like, all of a sudden, someone from Red Reserve just rolls out, starts picking up kills left and right, and then at the same time, we've Toa just clutches 1v2 at the end as well. So very chaotic situation. Works out okay for Ago for now. One of these teams needs to close out here. 2 rounds left. They need to run a perfect streak if they want to end into this OT. Otherwise, triple OT is looking incredibly likely with the back and forth nature that we've had here now.
See how this one's going to go. Snatchy once more with the op. Twist on the other side of things. Teammate Wilkie get Molotov down, and Disco Doblin pushing aggressively, getting that triple!
It's going to fall before he can get one more established as Toal finds a trade, but they're still stuck inside of T-Con with no safe way outside of it. Hampus tries to take up position to finalize the situation on this round. Won't happen, though, as Toal knocks out Hampus. Has to pay the price for it, though. He's down to 24 HP, and Snatchy's not faring much better. So Agu plays incredibly slowly. It works out for Toal. The flash from overhead Thrown by his teammate that was still back outside by his own spawn. He's able to knock on another player and now even things out into a 2v2. That low HP is still so critical against them. Snatchy specifically is nearly one-shottable by an M4. So he has to be incredibly delicate with how he approaches this. They're going to work together, pushing together to give them the best chance of at least finding a trade if one of them falls. Oh, unable to spot anything for the top train, though. Goes back to pick up the bomb. Now we are going to start to see them move towards it. Yeah, being incredibly safe about this, too, as they even smoke off the side lane. Sadly, that will give room, though, for Twist to peek out from his own position, knock out Snatchy, and leave Toa alone. With 10 seconds left to plant, man, it swiped right under the head of Twist, and now he knows where the last man is. Has to get the bomb onto the ground right now, though. It'll do just that. The molly across. Is it going to land in a good position? Sadly not. Now will be given the room he needs to fall back and try to complete this 1v1.
And the ace as well. Frax so far on his conscience, and he goes for the long rotate.
He is very fortunate that Brolon decided not to push up to this point, because he needed a lot of time to complete this rotate, and he
has a Molotov as well.
He's been given all that time. So here we go. Here's the attempt from Brolon. He's unable to spot him.
The timing, though, of this.
You're not going to get out. Okay, makes it happen, in fact. Brolon, I thought for sure, was going to be able to just force the defuse, but apparently not.
3 HP to spare. That is gut-wrenching for the young Swede, and an ace coming in. So wow, the man with the very hard-to-pronounce name will win a very hard-to-win round. 5 frags on his back. And even though Disco Doppland comes in with a 3K, he still makes this happen all on his own.
And so Toa did complete the ace there as well. Yep. That final kill, so good stuff from him showing up at the end of the game here. Now they need to close out. It's that same situation that we've seen time and time again from them.
This is where they struggle. They have that 15, they have that 21, at that 18. They need one more round. And they've struggled to get that last round for the entirety of this match.
Starting a couple of seconds here. Brolon's basically holding the hard angle up towards a ramp. Try and stop the push from being successful. If they do try to cross it, he peeks away just a little bit too early, though, so the shot, sadly, is not going to connect too heavily onto anyone from Mago. And they will take control of those back box halls.
Smokes are being set up. Question is, where's the execute going to go? Is it going to be the inner push? Looks like it so far. Could have one fake smoke outside and then one player going down towards Hop Dog, and here comes the push. Grubby to lead.
Molly tries to go down on the ground. Successful too, but Freddie B, did he catch the memo? Yes, he sees Grubby going on the cross. At the same time, though, PHR also successfully pushes out from upper and knocks out Brolon. He's going to continue to do so here as he saves his teammate's life and eliminates Freddie B.
4v3. Hampus making his way onto upper. Sees if he can find an angle, and the timing is perfect, but he will be shot down double from Furlan. Disco Doppler, last man standing.
Disco Doppler going to try to push tanker lane. Oh, and he makes the mistake of jumping across it, so PHR will get what he needs to shut it down, along with Ago. Finally taking control of this matchup. They got to match point, as you said, at 15 in regulation first, at 18 at the end of OT1 first. Sadly not. It was as well the team to get to 21 first here in double OT. I thought they weren't for a second there, but thought about it myself, and in fact they were. So finally they will close out in the second OT and take control of their opening matchup.
It took some time, but they're finally here and go with that win over the, of course, Swedes on home ground. So we have to say commiserations, because that was a hard-fought game. They were so close in that end to take it home, and Brolin especially, like, one of the key forces there.
Yeah, absolutely. Not only that too, but we saw Brolin having some good performance. Disco Doppler at the end of the game making some crazy aggressive plays that he should not have been allowed to get away with. That was happening there a lot too, but we're going to leave it to the analysts to break down the plays like that, as they are ready to go now. So we're going to leave it over to you, Paula. Take things away.
Yeah, that was a bit of a sweat as well, but I'm officially on the scoreboard in terms of predictions. Very happy about that. Pimp, Dust, are you happy to have seen that result?
I'm happy on your behalf, Paula.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that.
That's about it. Yeah.
And Dust, overall thoughts on that match?
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those things where I thought AGO should have won it so many times. Like, for one, they had 3-0 starts in both halves, so they controlled the game economically. They reset Red Reserve really hard in the second half as well. And at one point, they were really up there. I think they were up like 15. I can't even remember. Like, but they were definitely looking to win. And then, you know, they even had some like big mishaps where like Ferlin won like this miracle Mac 10 round, and you know, then like Freddie B made like a really big mistake in ladder room, and it was like Red Reserve were gifting AGO opportunities to just go ahead and close it in regulation. But then like they had this resurgence. They bring it into multiple overtime. So you know, props to Red Reserve for, you know, kind of getting past their mistakes and like figuring out a way to make that a close race. But in the end, AGO still do take it.
Indeed. And what do you think it was that brought them over the edge? If we look at the scoreboard, for instance, Snatchy had to drop almost 40 kills, and he was definitely having impact at times. I think in one of those penultimate rounds, near end rounds, he made a good flank. I think he got 2 or 3 AWP kills, and he was having a good impact all over.
One of those games where both teams, you know, are not really feeling it. And when you go into a overtime like this, you know, you not only play 1 overtime, but you play 2 overtime. You end up playing like almost 40 rounds of Counter-Strike. So at some point, you can't really surprise your opponents anymore. It's going to be the same gameplay, so it's going to be the same strategies. It's going to be the same of everything. So it's all about hitting your shots and not making the mistakes. And we saw here in the second overtime how like basically Red Reserve gifted away that victory, losing that 4 versus 2 here. And in the end, you see it right now on your screen. Tao playing that absolutely perfectly. But this was a 4 versus 2, and both players from Argo had 20 HP. So that was a huge misplay, and that's just how it is in Counter-Strike sometimes. It gets so nitty-gritty, it gets so close, and it's tough to do something about it. Not an updated scoreboard here, I think. Oh, is it?
Also, it also came down to like big individual plays, right? Like Tao had that big ace clutch that we just saw. Ferlin had a big ace round. Ferlin also had like a big clutch with like a Mac 10 and a 1v3 or something like that. Brolin, of course, had the big play on lower rank, which got them into overtime with that crazy M4 spray down. So it really did just come down to like some of the key players for each team like stepping up and having the individual plays they needed to keep it close. But like I said, in the end, AGO just was a little bit better in that second overtime.
Let's grab a word with Twao, who had his fantastic ace there near the end of the match. How are you feeling, sir?
Hello, everyone. Yeah, feeling good. Actually, a very hard game, but yeah, we won.
Run us through that round in particular where you got an ace by the end of it, but also at the end had to make a huge rotation whilst the bomb was down. It was pretty awesome to see.
So I knew that he didn't just run out from the connector after I planted, and just trying to get away from him, since I knew that he didn't jump out from connector, and I decided to just rotate around because he knew I'm low, so I thought he's gonna just chase me down, but I rotated and it worked.
Awesome. And were there any weaknesses that you felt you guys exploited against Red?
Anything in particular, I don't think so. Actually, we didn't play train against them before, maybe just once. So we just kind of play a loose style a little bit and then just throw some stuff later rounds, just to keep our team together and just go for refrags.
And coming off DreamHack Tour, where you played them in a best of 1, were you able to bring anything over from there into here?
Actually, we had a Polish tournament, so we didn't actually had a lot of time to prepare for this tournament, as we just come out from the Polish one right here. So yeah, we are just trying to play our style, and hopefully that works.
Quick questions from the gentleman to my left.
Yeah, I'm just quickly interested in hearing your opinion on how it is to be the best team in Poland right now. Like, you guys have been through a rough, steady climb, and you sort of like seem to being on an upward trajectory. Is it the same feeling you guys have? Like, do you feel you can get even better, or have you hit your peak by now?
I think we can get even better. It's just the time, because it's a matter of time, because we managed to get into ESL Pro League, and we saw that we can do better and better, because at the start we weren't that very good. And now we are actually getting better, and winning against Virus Pro offline is a big step, another step in Poland at least. And still, we don't feel like a top 1, maybe just now a little bit better form, but overall, I think we need to play another match, as they are playing a little bit better right now. So hopefully we made somewhere.
Fair enough.
Yeah, one quick question for me is just like, how has the leadership been on the team? Because I know that you were formerly the in-game leader, then obviously it got passed to Ferlin, and you talked about how that really kind of helped your confidence and maybe helped your play a little bit. So what's it kind of like now as far as how the team is led? Like, where do you and Ferlin different? Where are you similar?
So we figure out that Furlan doesn't really like to call on Train and Mirage, so that's the maps that I call, and it's working a little bit better now. It's been like that for 2 weeks now.
Awesome. Well, Twa, thank you very much, and we will see you later today. Guys, that was a hard-fought battle. Triple overtime.
Triple overtime, yeah.
Not too often you see those happen, but when they do, they can be pretty exciting. I think that match delivered on all fronts, Dust. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, again, like the history between these two teams is definitely like a scrappy one. Like they have almost an equal amount of wins against each other. They play against each other quite a lot, and that's another example of a close game between these two teams. Is they're kind of in similar positions, looking to be on the come up from like the tier 2 or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, good step for both of them. Both teams showed that they're here to play, so despite Red Reserve losing, they're not out of the tournament yet. They have another best of 3 tomorrow in order to have a chance of proceeding from this group play, and it didn't seem like they were out of it. You know, it was just a very close game between 2 even teams, so great to see that all teams so far have showed up.
Indeed, a very close game between 2 even teams. Now, if you'd like to get more from your DreamHack experience, don't forget that we have a bunch of other stuff going on as well, and you can check that out through Snipe. And to get a hold of your DreamHack digital pass, to do just that, all you need to do is head on over to dreamhack.com/digital pass. That will be it from us for now. After the break, it will be Gambit going up against Optic. That is going to be a fantastic matchup that you do not want to miss.